Good morning everyone, how are we doing today? Hope you're all good. Dead Me here, and today we're taking a look at one of my guilty pleasures, a game that's got me literally by the balls, and that's Final Fantasy 14. Let's take a look. The absolute very first thing you're going to notice is a character creation screen, where here is one of the weakest points for me. You can either be a human, an elf, a Lalafell, a mosquito, and I don't even know what the hell I'm looking at, but sexy bunny lady, huh? This is one area where I just went with human. I went playing, kept it simple type, but started off as a higher, which is human. But there you go. There's a few character creations here, not really the best part of the game, but we could skip over that. I'm sure more will be added at a later date, or a little bit of a rework could be in order. You never know. So here's a character creation. Here's all the races. You can either be male or female, but certain characters like the Viera can only be female, and the Horograph can only be male. And the Horograph is basically a big ass looking tiger, so yeah, can't really argue with that. You've got the midgets, or the dwarfs, or whatever they want to be. So the first thing everyone's going to ask when I play an mmorpg for the first time is, why did I not pick World of Warcraft, and why did I pick Final Fantasy, and are you a weeb? Well, I'm 37 years old and I have no fucking idea what a weeb is, so I'm going to say no. The reason I chose this over World of Warcraft is because I've played previous Final Fantasy games, so I at least have a basic idea. And I'm definitely going to play World of Warcraft, make no mistake. So I'm going to play in both, but as you know, these things suck up all your time, so it's one at a time. I've gone with Final Fantasy, and so far I ain't been disappointed with my choice. So we're going to take a look at a few things from a beginner's perspective for another beginner, and just see how you think the game looks for yourself, and a few impressions of what I think. So let's go take a look. The first thing that sets this apart from other games is the fact that it's got more of an RPG element for most games, like mmorpg. I can't say that goddamn word, but I will learn by the end of this, I swear to God. Fuck, let's try again. Okay, so like the differences between this and the others is that you have a main story quest, and this is something you don't get really in mmorpgs. Now this is a good and a bad thing. So what I've learned so far is that you really have to do the story, and the story is hella long. Hella long. I'm still on the first release of the game. I'm not on the expansions, and Christ, I've put so many hours into it. So you have to follow the main storyline before you get to the end, which is like what everybody wants in these kind of games. You want to get to the end, you want to do the hardest raids, you want to get the best gear, you want to grab all that shit. But with this one, you can't really race there. You have to really go through the storyline. So like if you're someone that doesn't really give a damn about the story, you just want to get to the end stuff, the raids and the dungeons and that, all the harder level versions of them, it's probably not going to be for you. But if you're someone who loves a great story and not in that much of a rush, just want to enjoy the story, then get to all that good shit, well, here we go, Final Fantasy for you. Here you go. Now, the most basic overview of this game I can give you from a story perspective, without ruining it for you, which I really don't want to do, is that there's like worlds all surrounding like a mother world. Like there's a main world, and then you got these copies, and every so often these copies bleed into the main world, and these are called calamities, and basically they're like catastrophic moments, and like you're basically trying to stop that. There you go. That's about as brief as I can be from what I've learned so far. But before you get to all that stuff, you basically got to start where you start in any one of these kind of games. You've got to go to someone, you've got to pick up 5 gold, take it to the guy around the corner that was too lazy to take it to, give him the gold, and then go back 2 meters to the guy and say, I did what you asked, sir. Can I have some mission stuff, sir? And that's it. Basically, fetch quest your little ass off. So the mission starts off like that, slow, and it slowly picks up, and it slowly picks up, and it slowly picks up. Now, a lot of people say that a lot of people, new players, quit because it's so damn slow at first, and I can see that. I've got to admit, I can see that, especially the Realm Reborn, the first one. I hear they get better and better, but the Realm Reborn has moments where you are literally like pulling teeth. You're literally looking at the quest giver, saying, all right, mate, give us a quest. And he's like, oh, can you take this to the guy behind you? I'm like, he's right behind me, dude. He's like 1 meter away. Can you not do that, you fucking self? And like, you get missions like that, and they just seem to tediously wear you down. And then when you're on your knees and you're begging, dear Lord, can we do a little bit better? something amazing happens. So you've got to like go through the bad to get to the good at first. And I know everyone says it picks up, and I'm sure it does, but I want to warn you, you're going to get a lot of that stuff. So people ask, how do you start? Well, you make your character and you pick your class. Now you've got like your rangers, you've got your magic dudes, you've got your druids, you've got everything you've seen before. I think what Final Fantasy does well though is if you pick something at the beginning, you can then specialise into different things halfway through. I say halfway through, depending on how quick you go, but you can specialise. So like I started off as a warrior, like a gladiator. And if you know what a gladiator is, it's this.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the North, general of the Felix Legions, loyal servant to the true Emperor Marcus Aurelius, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next.
But it doesn't stop there. So I started off as a gladiator, and then I specialised to be a paladin. So like you can never really get bored, and that's just the start. You can specialise as a paladin. You can also do jobs. Like jobs are basically like you can be a crafter, you can be a miner. It's ridiculous. You can even be a goddamn dancer. No shit. I went to Uldar, the main city, which I chose for myself, and you've got people dancing, and you got like people watching them dance, clapping and everything. It's pretty bloody amazing, let's be fair. All the people from the community get together, watch this person dancing. You can also be a bard, you can play some music, so the bard will go join the dancer. Next thing you know, everyone's having a goddamn party, which I'm no good to, because I'm a goddamn gladiator. What am I going to do? Go slice the dancer up? I mean, but like the community in this game is probably the most standout thing that I've ever experienced. Like whenever I join a game like this, and I say I don't really play them often, I've played them very rare in my life. And I never join a company, I never do any social things in a social game. I know, I just plod along on my own. Because usually you get a bunch of little toss spots, but in this community, mwah, A+, trust me, well worth your time. People come over, say hi, you know, you get invited to free companies. Now free companies are basically like your squad, like your crew, like your garrison in other games. So you get a bunch of people in the same crew and you'll go take on raids, dungeons and all the harder stuff together. Now you'll find that you'll just be wandering the world, someone will just come and ask you if you want to join. Now you've got to be careful what you join because you want to be with active people. If you're going to go down that route, you're going to be with active people because you get a lot of people just invite you for the sake of inviting you. Like when I first started this game, someone invited me, I accepted. Never bloody heard from him, not once. So I left that bitch, I was out, and now I'm just roaming the world as a free little type. But definitely check it out. If you're a raid and dungeon guy and you want to hit all that stuff, free company is the way to go. But if you get into the game and you decide that's not for you right now, not till you leveled up because you don't want to fall behind or whatever it is, you can join grand companies. Now, when you get to about level 22, I think it was, you get an option to join one of 3 grand companies. Now, grand companies are basically 3 organizations that hire adventurers as mercenaries. So you can go do missions for these guys, like whichever one you chose, and they'll reward you with tickets. And you can take these tickets back to the company and you can spend them on weapons, gear, all that kind of stuff. But good looking stuff, high end stuff. Just keep doing missions for them, keep bringing them back. And you can also go up in levels. So you start off as like a squaddy all the way to the king of the company. You know, so there's plenty to do in that respect if you're not really into the multiplayer aspect straight away. So you want to go raiding, do you?
So you're a killer? Sir, yes, sir! Let me see your war face. Sir! You got a war face? Ah! That's a war face! Now let me see your war face! Ah! Bullshit! You didn't convince me! Let me see your real war face! Ah! You don't scare me! Work on it! Sir, yes, sir!
Throughout the game, you will experience dungeons and raids because it's part of the MSQ, the main story quests. And what I can say is they are fun. They come with cutscenes, they come with action, they come with a team. You have like a duty finder, which is like a journal that you can open up. It'll find your teammates for these things. So you're not going in alone. You haven't got to join no company or anything. You just use the duty finder, find a team and go into these dungeons where they're hella fun. They are hella fun. So what happens is you'll be the gladiator, for instance. You'll have like a medic, which is like the mage, and you have like the necromancers and all the bloody different classes and all that have to play their part. Now my job as a gladiator is to basically run up to someone and say, "Oi, you, come on then, mate," and just jump into the middle of everyone and keep their attention on me. Then I have like a monk DPS behind me who'll be smashing the death out of them. Then I have a healer trying to keep me alive while I'm getting slapped to death by everybody. And it can get really intense, it can get really hard, and there is a lot to learn. If you're not versed in these sort of games, there is a lot to learn, like the timings of your combos, where to stand, how to keep the attention focused on you if you're a gladiator, and like if you're a healer and everything, same sort of thing. And knowing your role, playing your role and everything can be a bit daunting. But once again, a shout out to the community. Like, you have a chat box down in the bottom left, and if I'm doing something wrong, someone will just say, "All right, mate, you know, don't spam this," or "Try this," or, you know, those kind of helpful things. So don't be afraid of doing it. It's hella good fun. Now, I can't wait to get to the end game. Like, if you watch YouTube videos and everything, you see people, or Twitch, all they do is these really hard raids that you do at end game, and I can't wait to get there myself. But don't be daunted by it. Get stuck in. The community will help you out. Or you can go the other route, like I said earlier, find a free company, make friends that you can actually speak to through Discord or whatever, and go tackle it with them. But they are hella fun. Definitely don't neglect that after the MSQ. Okay, so I've been mostly positive. Where's the negative stuff? Well, there is a few things. Whether you can overlook them or not is down to you. But first off is the character creation. It's pretty bad. Need more races, need more choices. If you look at the faces on some of the humans, you're like, "God damn, man, what happened? You okay, son? You okay?" Some of the main story quests on the first expansion or the first game, The Realm Reborn, can be mundane. They can be very mundane. You're like, "God damn, I just can't get through this." You know, very simple stuff like fetch quest to fetch quest, which brings me to my next point. The way the game's set up is that you have these travel points in each city or each place that you visit or each part of the world that you visit. And a lot of the fetch quests or the smaller missions in the MSQ will have you go from one place to go to another place, to pick the thing up you were asked to get, to go back to the original place, to give it back to the guy. Very boring stuff which you go around the world doing, but you don't fly around the world or get around the world, how can I say, more organically. You find basically you travel from crystal to crystal in the other world to crystal to the crystal, which makes the world feel a little bit more like you're in a loop and not so open.
What? I predict that in just a moment, we will see a lady on a red bike, followed by a man with flowers, and a Volkswagen Beetle with a dented fender.
Truman, please.
Look. Lady. Flowers. And...
Truman, this is silly.
There it is! There it is! There's the dented beetle! Yes! Don't you want to know how I did that? I'll tell you. They're on a loop. They go around the block. They come back. They go around again. They just go around and around.
But, you know, these are small things that I'm sure you can get over because the game really is worth it. You've just got low points that you need to fight through to get to the high points. Like me, personally, I can't wait to get out of Realm Reborn and get to Heaven's Ward, the first expansion, because I've just seen so many videos on that and it looks fucking fantastic. So if you're not into that, you know, there's plenty of lovely ladies out in the world. I mean, just take a look.
Hey, baby! You got girlfriend, Vietnam? Not just this minute. Well, baby, me so horny. Me so horny. Me love you long time. You Connie? Yeah, we might party.
Okay, that's gonna about wrap it up for me. I just wanted to sit down, do an unscripted video and just like share this game with people. I've literally just started playing it myself, as you can tell, and it's a fantastic game. I can't believe it's took me this long to hear about it. I just want to give a shout out to the people that I've met out in the world of Final Fantasy, just out in the community. You're all fucking awesome. And if you like what you see here, like, comment, subscribe. I will be doing more videos on Final Fantasy. So, thank you very much. I'm Dead Meat. Catch you on the next one.